like to call to order the September 12th, 2022 Beechwood Board of Education meeting.
Mrs. Berger?
Here.
Dr. Savignano?
Here.
Mrs. Sleet?
Here.
Ms. Stricker?
Here.
Mrs. Sullivan?
Here. Today we're going to do recognition of guests.
Absolutely. Apologize, I was texting somebody. Always one of my favorite opportunities as a superintendent is be able to recognize our student population. We always look forward into September. In September, recognizing GSA, Governor's School for the Arts, and GSP, Governor's Scholar Program. So congratulations to all of you all for being here tonight. We'll start out with GSA. We have 3 representatives for GSA. First of all, Ash Nordman.
She's probably out of band.
Landon Gleason. And Emma Sperber.
She's at band practice.
They're all band. Oh, Emma's at band.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emma in the band.
That makes
Emma's at
sense.
band.
Yeah. It's always hard to get the arts.
Yeah.
The ones. But even though they're not here, I do have to say, very, very competitive program, Governor's School for the Arts, and I know we've tried for many years to up our numbers, so it's great to see 3 students represented. Next, GSP, Governor's Scholar Program, we have Emily Wright. Come on.
Congratulations.
And we just go ahead and stay up here, hon. You're not gonna like me.
Stay right here.
Next, Brooklyn McGuire. Jack Griner. And last but not least, Rosie Bauer.
We need to get longer ribbons.
Congratulations.
All right, guys, as you may have heard from last year and the year before and the year before, I always put you on the spot. So I want each 4 of you, if you don't mind, tell us where you went and what your emphasis was.
I went to Center College in Danville, and my focus area was biological and environmental issues.
I went to Bellarmine and my focus area was philosophy.
I went to Moorhead and my focus area was international relations.
And I went to Moorhead and my focus area was biological and environmental issues.
Very nice, very nice. All right,
Let's
one
get
more
a group
question. One
picture.
more question. All right, what was the most favorite thing about GSP?
For me, hands down, the friends I made, they're all from Louisville, and they all actually go to the same school, but they kind of took me into their little group because I didn't know anybody there, and probably the best friends I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, mine was all the people that I got to meet.
I don't really feel like a record, but same thing. All the people I can meet help my people skills.
Mine was also definitely the people that I got to meet, and then just being able to learn in a different environment than I'm not typically used to, and having a more hands-on and interactive education.
All right, very good. Those are the 2 usual things, right? The relationships and the more hands-on. So, I mean, we try to copy a lot of that stuff in our new programming. Obviously, we can't copy the different people from different places, but what a great experience. Proud of each of you, and I do have to put in a little bit of a plug for, well, Emily's a drag racer. I mean, it's hard to beat that. I mean, but Rosie's going with me on Friday to present in Frankfurt on one of our programs. So we're always looking to be able to tap into some of the things that they're doing outside and be able to capitalize on that inside. So great representation of Beechwood guys, and congratulations all 4 of you. Well done.
You're gonna get a group picture? Mike, you're gonna get a group picture?
Yes, get a group picture. Absolutely.
Like up here? all
Yes,
of us?
yes, ma'am.
I think we should.
Hold on, Sarah.
When they're,
Come on, guys, right in front of right in front.
Maybe the banner.
The shovel. Will you do me the honor, please?
What are you doing? Awesome.
Congratulations, guys.
You don't even have to excuse them, they're just. Bye.
I should have asked them where they were going.
Oh, Norton, you didn't even have to say, you don't have to stay.
I know, right? Trains. Trains.
Okay, do we have any public comment?
No.
Okay. We'll go on to the discussion and action agenda. Our first item is Kentucky Transportation Cabinet's land acquisition offer as it relates to the Brent Spence Bridge project.
I'll move to approve the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet's land acquisition offer as it relates to the Brent Spence Bridge project.
Second.
Okay, as you all are aware, and I've informed you in past months, we were presented with a proposal for a piece of the land that you guys as a entity own. Fearing the worst, but it definitely turned out to be a very small portion, 7/10 of 7/100ths of an acre. 7/100ths of an acre, so I mean a really, really small portion of land. And if you were looking, if you were airborne and you could see home plate of the girls softball field, if you went straight in a 90-degree angle, straight over to the interstate at the very bottom of the hill, that's where the piece of land is located. It has no impact on our facility as far as any of our day-to-day activities or extracurricular activities. There is an opportunity, and I told you guys there is an opportunity to appeal. However, it is my recommendation based on the zero impact and a fair offer that you do accept their proposal and provide them that small portion of land. Any questions?
Well, that's not even to the woods part, right? It's like
It's not even to the woods part. No.
a lot of softballs down there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I was really worried about how far they were wanting to come into the woods because of those aspects, but it's not a problem. I think it was a fair offer. I do not think you should appeal.
Okay, any other discussion?
No.
Okay.
Ready, Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Salviano?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker?
Yes.
Mrs. Sullivan?
Yes. Okay, next we're gonna go on to our working budget for the school year 2022 to 2023.
Is this just
I move to approve the working budget for 2022-2023 school year.
I will second.
All right, as far as my end, relatively no changes, if any minor, from our proposed budget. Carry a little over 1.4 million. If you have any specific, is there anything you want to add to?
No, I was just gonna mention the carry, that's it. I was just gonna mention the carry for the, what we talked about, the contingency.
I mean, again, typically there might be something, but with running the building project, I mean, most of our emphasis is on the building project. So, I mean, everything's going to be kind of on hold as far as any big expenditures, any other projects that come out of general fund. We're really trying to hold tight. So I don't anticipate much difference for this year, and I really don't anticipate much for next. Any questions about the working budget?
No.
Right, Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Salviano?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker? Ms.
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes. And onto the consent agenda. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I will make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, just a couple of things to point out. The field trip exceeding 100 miles marching band to Estill County, now that they are in 3A, so we're no longer in 2A, we're now in 3A for band. The regional is not in Madison Southern or Lexington. It has now been moved to Estill County High School. So that is the trip to Irvin for the regional band competition. I think that is October the 22nd.
I didn't realize we were 3A. What was the driver behind that?
Our numbers.
Really? In the
so-
band?
In the band or in the school?
In the band.
So have they gone back up in numbers?
They're bigger than they were last year,
Okay.
and because of COVID, a lot of bands dropped in numbers.
Oh.
So we were one of the few that held and grew. So we've expanded from 2A into 3A.
Wow.
So that was
Yeah.
a change, definitely. Band, if you were here on Saturday night for their festival, number one, the parents did a great job. I know that's off the consent agenda. But number two, they did a really good job. A yearly thing that's on, the interagency agreement between DCCH and Beechwood, that's on every September. We do have one teacher, emergency teacher certification in physics. That tends to be a yearly one with Mr. Shywin. And everything else is pretty basic. Any specific questions?
Nope.
Ready, Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Savignano?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker?
Yes.
Mrs. Solomon?
Yes.
Financial report, this month is the working session. I did not add a large topic on superintendent's report. Just to keep you updated on construction. Plumber was on site today and did start today, so that was on schedule. We did put in for a change order that I did approve. We uncovered a very poorly done sewage drain from Empire out of this back corner section. And there's no way we're covering it back up. So that will be taken out and redone properly and put in the proper spot. Because of that, that will put the plumbers a couple of days behind because they'll do that before moving into the rest of the project. But I think that was well worth the small change in money for the board.
When was that plumbing installed? Was it a long time ago?
No.
Ooh.
For just these last 12 classrooms?
No,
Is it-
no, no, no.
Oh, so the,
With this project with Empire, when you added on
this one?
this building. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not, just wasn't number one, it wasn't where the plans showed it was gonna be, so we hit it, and that's what caused the leak that Saturday that I let you know about.
Really?
Because it was, number one, in the wrong spot, and number two, they had snaked it in 3 different spots, which was not, you know, I know why they've done it, I know why they did it, but it's just not appropriately done for long term. So that is one
Well, it's
change
lucky we
order that
found
I
it.
asked for. So when that one comes, that one's going to be on what's on. So that is superintendent requested. Number one, we can get it up closer to the building. So if anything does happen where they dig down, they're not hitting it again. And number two, we can make it a straight line, which should take away any
but
opportunity
that's
for
not
that.
impacting this over here, the issue over here.
It's actually impacting those 2 classrooms, or those 2 restrooms and the 2 below, until about 7 o'clock tonight, because they're disconnecting it.
No, I'm saying like the drainage part, back here.
No,
It's not the same, okay.
no,
Okay.
no,
That's more runoff.
that is more runoff.
Yeah.
Yes. So plumbers were on site today. If you noticed, the rising sun worked through the weekend. They're almost to a point, there's a few pieces of steel missing for the wall to tie in, the tie-ins. Those are scheduled to be in this week on a delay. So that's gonna put them about 1 week behind as far as pouring the rest of the concrete walls for the base foundation. Now, a really weird thing that's gonna happen over the next, probably starting in about 3 weeks, and probably before the next board meeting, so I wanna give everybody a heads up. The wall right by the little fire break between the elementary old edition and the new portion, right? So if you
This
go
way or
right out
that
here,
way?
if you go right out here, turn down the hallway, the windows look out, it's where the little picnic tables were
Yeah,
in the elementary side,
Right.
yeah.
right? Okay, they're gonna come in and they're gonna concrete that wall, or a concrete block, all that wall all the way to the top. And then they're gonna store the brick for that wall in that area. Because otherwise, when they start going up, they're not gonna be able to get their supplies and their brick onto the right side to be able to lay it. So they're gonna go ahead and lay that wall, which it'll look really weird, because everywhere else will just have the basic foundation with the poured wall up about 5 feet. But then over here, all of a sudden, they're gonna start with a wall. So that's the reason why. Because once that wall goes up, it connects the front corner of the elementary to the back wall here, and the only way to access it is to go through the school into that courtyard, and they don't want to disrupt school to be able to do that. So it's going to look really weird, but that's the reason why. That'll start in about 3 to 4 weeks, right around the time of the next board meeting, but I was afraid it would happen before the board meeting, and I wanted you all to be aware. There is one other thing that is not a freak out, but they didn't realize whenever they shifted the auditorium, it bounced the front steps out about 2 feet. So if you go out, they actually spread it out today. The front steps are going to come down. The whole building shifted about 2.5 feet towards the road. So that's going to impact our brick path just a little bit. But that edge had to be tore out anyway whenever they go to set it back. So we'll just shift the whole thing about 2 feet, and you'll never know that anything has changed. But I know if anybody sees the orange spray paint, they're going to start asking questions. That's not the front of the building. That's the front of the steps, and we'll incorporate that in just fine.
So we gained 2 feet inside, we gained 2 feet inside
Gain
space?
2 feet inside, yes.
That sounds like a win.
Yeah, it's shifted some things, but the square footage win is going to be great. I mean, because, when you think of it right now, we have more square footage this year than we had last year, right? Before we added the 12, because we had the 12 plus the 4 classrooms. So even though we're taking away the 4 classrooms, we're adding a ton of space up front. So that will add that will be one of the blessings of the project. You'll add a lot of square footage for the district. Other than that, the commons, one other problem that you'll see some work on that wasn't in the plans, they're tearing out some brick off the front corner of the commons. The commons wall that runs, if you're looking at the commons from the outside, you see the little tree, the blue ribbon schools emblem over top. All right, the left-hand side of the commons wall is 7 inches out of plumb. So from the front to the back, it's 7 inches off.
Towards the office, towards the high school office?
No, the one that runs perpendicular to Beechwood Road. So the right corner that runs back to this corner right out here is 7 inches off. So they're gonna have to rework some of the things for the hallway. So that's gonna change a couple of things out front. They're already tearing off some brick off the front. I wasn't expecting that. So when I started digging into it, and if you stand on the corner, you can clearly see it's out of plumb. So that'll be corrected as well, and we should be in good shape. Other than those two issues, I don't anticipate a lot of large items coming up, knock on wood. We're down through the rock. We're not too far away from the foundation floor being poured. Once that's poured, really then it's just a vertical movement, and you really lessen the opportunities to hit into other problems. So we're about 1 month being in the clear and not having any more surprises.
Okay, so the addition of, I didn't realize it's only 2 feet, but is there an extra cost associated with that extra?
No, it was built in.
Okay.
It was just, when plans went to the actual ground, it was a little bit farther than what they thought. So, no other problems. Outside of that, I mean, we're on track. We'll just keep our fingers crossed for a mild winter. Any other questions on construction?
No, looks like traffic is going, knock on, don't have wood to knock on, but so far
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, traffic has been much better. The one thing that we have not endured is a major rain or dismissal. I think that's what we're all waiting for, to see how things work. I can tell you the one entrance and one exit going the opposite way has been a big help both morning and afternoon. I think the admin team got it right when they said morning stagger, afternoon same time dismissal. That That was them out there every day, keeping eyes on that. Have not seen a problem, have not, just as another update, have not seen a problem with any of our new staff. They seem to be acclimated very well. We're getting good reviews from students, a lot of energy, so super happy with the start of school. You know, now we just have to stay focused on what we talked about in our joint meeting, academics, and getting back to, you know, our core, and you know, just maintaining some of those cultural aspects that we're kind of known for. Any other questions? Okay, that's all I don't have much other than, obviously, I'm inundated right now in construction, super excited, but it is still a critical stretch.
Okay, I'll take a motion to make the agenda part of the official board minutes.
I'll go ahead and make the motion to have the agenda in the official board minutes.
I'll second.
Who's that, Jamie?
Mhm.
Okay, Mrs. Berger?
Yes.
Dr. Salviano?
Yes.
Mrs. Slate?
Yes.
Ms. Stricker?
Yes.
Mrs. Sullivan?
Yes. Okay, anybody else have any business they'd like to share?
I'm just going to reiterate, band festival, parents did a great job.
Oh, it was busy up here, unfortunately. Yeah,
was
I made
busy.
them, yeah.
We only had one injury. Raul Dad fell and compound fractured his wrist. Other than that, we were in good shape. And, you know, they did a great job. I was up here Sunday morning working out. I mean, it was clean as a whistle. So I hope they did really well financially, because it was a great weather and a great night for the band.
Anybody else?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
There you
Second.
go.
Or you guys second?
They seconded them first off.
However you want to put it down.
I like it. I like the efficiency
Yeah.
of that.
That might be a record for September.
I know, that's
Yeah.
not really
We're
good.
good.
Well, I got told, my crew, I mean, with such a major construction project, some of the other things that we typically would be working on has kind of rolled into that, so,
Right.
you know, it's a big ticket item. I would like to, I mean, I know it, and it doesn't have to be a working, but I would like to, for you all to start looking at a date in January, that we could have a brief overview. It could be a working meeting, whatever, but a brief overview of some of the more technical aspects of what's in each room, just to see if you have any feedback or any interest.
Yeah, I saw
in-
the video go out today about campaign.
Yeah, for campaign,
Mhm.
yeah. But just to kind of go over, we'll meet as a cabinet and kind of start put together a piece of a plan. Then just as another set of eyes, I would love, you know, mid to late February, you guys take a look, because we're going to need to order well in advance on some of those items.
Right.
I just like another set of eyes, just kind of looking over the specific pieces of of each room, specifically the labs, because there's some pretty detailed stuff in that. So that'd be great.
Do we need a working meeting this month? No, okay.
Volleyball, Sky County tonight, senior night for soccer on the lower field for.
Tonight?
Yes,
Senior
girls,
night?
girls,
Yeah.
yeah, girls senior night.
What time?
7:30 for soccer? 6:45 for soccer, like I said.
Well, they're not out there yet.
They're practicing up top.
Oh.
Yeah, JV was up top.
Who are they playing?
Sky County High School.
They, soccer?
No.
No, I know volleyball.
Volleyball. Calvary. JV was Walton, varsity's Calvary. All right, you guys have a good night.
Thank
Same,
you.
thank you.